Good afternoon, my Real News Media TV family. Welcome back to the channel for another news update for December 5, 2023. And in the news this afternoon, Freedom Imaginaries launches campaign on behalf of Haitian asylum seekers. Human rights lobby group Freedom Imaginaries on Monday launched the hashtag With Haitian Refugees campaign in an effort to urge regional and international action and solidarity with Haitian refugees and asylum seekers in the Caribbean. The campaign was launched during a virtual press conference which featured statements of solidarity from Advocates Network, Haiti Jamaica Society, Human Rights Watch, Jamaica Council of Churches, and the Jamaicans for Justice, among others. Some 3,900 people have been killed and more than 1,400 injured in Haiti since the start of the year. About 2,951 people have been kidnapped in gang-related violence this year, with nearly 200,000 people internally displaced in the French-speaking CARICOM nation. Freedom Imaginaries has called for the United Nations, Organization of American States, and the Caribbean Community to establish a comprehensive, coordinated regional approach to ensure the protection of Haitian refugees and asylum seekers in line with the principles of humanitarian assistance, protection, cooperation, and international solidarity. In the meantime, Freedom Imaginaries said no additional Haitians have been found aside from the 9 who were intercepted in Hope Bay, Portland, and repatriated to Haiti on November 29. The lobby group has slammed the government over what it describes as a rapid return policy approach toward the growing number of Haitians fleeing to Jamaica. Founder Malene Alain said the government's approach ignores the rights of asylum seekers by not allowing due process or for proper asylum procedures to take course. She said the government is yet to respond to any of the applications made for asylum status. Police warn of prosecution for truck drivers who overload and transport uncovered aggregate. The St. Thomas Police Traffic Department has stepped up efforts to prosecute truck drivers who continue to overload their vehicles and fail to cover aggregate while transporting it out of the parish. This follows an increase in the number of crashes due to the spillage of aggregate along sections of the Southern Coastal Highway in the parish. On Monday morning, a female motorist who is said to be pregnant had to be rushed to hospital after her vehicle encountered spill aggregate along a section of the highway near 14 miles. It is reported that at 10:30 a.m., the motorist was traveling westbound when the vehicle skidded in the aggregate and slammed into a concrete barrier. The police are imploring motorists to exercise care, especially near corners along the highway. They are also calling for truckers to operate within the regulations governing weight limits, overloading, and the covering of aggregate or face a prosecution. Jamaica establishes Artificial Intelligence Task Force. Jamaica's Artificial Intelligence Task Force has been officially established. Chairman of the task force, Christopher Record, says that the group was officially formalized in August and has met a few times since. Mr. Record was speaking at the Tech Beach retreat last week. He said so far the main areas being considered around the data privacy and the security and the ethical use of artificial intelligence. Earlier this year, then newly appointed minister responsible for skills and digital transformation, Senator Dr. Dana Morris Dixon, shared the plans for the establishment of the task force. The team will conduct research into artificial intelligence, which has been a hot topic, especially over the last year, with the increased use of ChatGPT and other popular AI platforms.
I think the administration felt that, folks, it is very, very necessary for us to understand how to harness this power, because it is massive power, it is huge. How to harness this power ethically, safely, to enable growth. And do we need to regulate? So our task is really to explore what's happening out there globally, regionally, and make some determination around recommendations, suggestions, strategy, and which will ultimately guide policy and perhaps regulation if there needs to be any. But we're just at an exploration stage right now.
PNP wants a government to expedite digitization of court services. The opposition People's National Party is calling for the government to allocate all necessary resources to expedite the digital transformation of court services. The PNP has welcomed the recent announcement by Chief Justice Brent Sax of plans to revolutionize the operations of the courts within the next 5 years. Opposition spokesperson on Justice and Information, Senator Donna Scott Motley, said the move towards electronic filing and online communication is expected to lead to efficiency and to convenience, benefiting both attorneys and the citizens. Senator Scott Motley's call for swift action is underscored by a recent court case in which a ruling was delayed for 8 years due to the unavailability of digital audio recording data. The opposition spokesperson on Justice contends that the implementation of the proposed digital transformation is critical to overcoming cynicism resulting from such failures. Sax says mostly lower-income earners willing to serve as jurors. Chief Justice Brent Sax is denouncing some category of workers in Western Jamaica, including middle management and beyond, who he accused of being reluctant to serve as jurors. Sax, who was speaking at the Montego Bay Chamber of Commerce and Industry's annual awards banquet at the Montego Bay Convention Center Saturday night, underscored that lower-income earners are most willing to volunteer for jury duty. In Montego Bay, in fact, Western Jamaica, you know one of the most intriguing things when it comes to jury service, you can't find the people from the hotel industry, and there are so many hotels from Trelawney. They can't find the people in the financial sector. They can't find the managers, whether junior or senior, to serve as jurors, he said. The only persons we find, and I'm not saying anything is wrong with them, but they turn up fishermen, domestic helpers, practical nurses, and so on. And so the burden of jury service falls disproportionately on these persons, he added. He explained that those who are reluctant to serve often submit letters from their employers. So when the police happen to find someone from middle management from the hotel, financial sector, and other sectors to serve, you know what happens. A letter comes in to say, Mr. John Brown is desirous of serving, and he takes his civil responsibility very seriously. However, our company is engaged in whatever the critical exercise is, and so he won't be available, Sax said. He noted that the period of unavailability often coincides with the entire duration of the circuit court. The Chief Justice stressed that there are implications for the justice system because when we don't have enough jurors, it means that the cases can't be tried. So now think of yourself as a rational criminal. Yes, you are here and you're arrested and charged, but you don't know about the conviction rate, you don't know about the delays in getting the forensic certificates, you don't know that we have a jury problem. So if I am a criminal or you are a criminal, why would you be concerned about what the penalty is? That can't be a concern of yours because the likelihood of the penalty being imposed on me is not very great, as Sax argued. And the criminals, like everybody else, they do their risk analysis. Moral suasion hasn't stopped them, he added. He told the gathering of business interest that offering to be available for jury is among the things that we need to do to fix the question of crime, not just in Montego Bay, but all over. Commerce relies on the predictability and reliability of a legal system, and it is the responsibility of the judiciary to operate in a manner that promotes economic growth and innovation. I and the judges and the employees within our court system are committed to ensuring that our legal system remains agile, transparent, and responsive to the changing needs of the Jamaican society, Sax said. Significant reforms are needed to the criminal justice system in Jamaica, and we have begun to work on them, but we need the support of those who provide these vital certificates. I must emphasize that nothing that is done to create excellence can be done in isolation. It will take strong partnership between the legislature, the executive, and the private sector to bring about the Jamaica that we want to see. He added, so the reform that is required will make our judiciary more efficient so that the next occasion when I hear from, whether the current president of the Montego Bay Chamber of Commerce or another president, he will be able to say that among the problems that he has is not crime. That is why we need the reform. And so the bedrock of a stable and economically prosperous Jamaica One of those is an effective and efficient legal system. During Saturday night's awards ceremony, which was held under the theme Celebrating Business Excellence, Executive Chairman of Caribbean Producers Jamaica Limited, Mark Hart, was inducted into Montego Bay Chamber of Commerce and Industries' prestigious Business Leaders Wall of Fame. He followed in the footsteps of his late father, business titan Anthony Tony Hart, who was inducted into the Wall of Fame in 2015. Mark Hart, a luminary in the business sector, is renowned for his extraordinary accomplishments and a steadfast commitment to the community. He exemplifies the qualities that define the Montego Bay Chamber of Commerce and Industries Business Leaders Wall of Fame, inspiring leadership, dedication to service, innovation, and professional achievements.